Hey everyone, this is Accounting Nightmare, and I'm doing a quick tutorial for how to play Picross today. Because Picross is one of my favourite puzzle games, and I love the heck out of it. I've been playing it for so long. It's available on a lot of different platforms, and well, I want to share the Picross love. The one we're looking at here is Mario no Super Picross for Super Nintendo, which wasn't released outside Japan, so it's Japanese, but if you understand the basics of Picross, then yeah, that doesn't matter. The reason I'm using this one is because it's nice and clear to look at, and it's easy to record than most of the other ones, which are on DS or 3DS or something, which are not easy to record. But yeah, the basics of Picross is what I'm going to show you. It is a logic puzzle game. You clear these grids. And this is just asking if I want a hint. I don't want a hint. That just fills in a row or a column. I don't want that. Yeah, so we've got this little grid of blocks. It's a 5x5 grid. Yeah, 'cause there's 5 across and 5 up and down. Yeah, so these numbers along the top and along the sides, are there how many squares are filled in that row or column? See, this one says 5 for this row, and you can see it's even highlighted the row so we can see what it's talking about. So 5 of these blocks must be filled in, but there's only 5 here, so they must all be filled in, right? So we fill them all in, because there's no other possible way that can go. We can even mark that off if we want, so we can say that we've done that. Yeah, and so from there we can look at this column. See, there's a 2 here. Now, when there's a number like that, a 2 or a 5 or whatever, it means that those doesn't just mean that there's 2 or 5 filled in, but they're consecutive. So we can't have, see that says 2, they can't have like 1 here and then 1 here. They have to be consecutive. So we've already got 1 filled in, so the other one must be here because they have to be consecutive. So there's our 2. And that's all that's filled in that column. So we can mark these as an X. We know they're not filled in, and that'll help us fill out other things in the future. Always put a cross or whatever when you know something's not filled in. And so from here we can go down to here. See, this row here has a 2. So we know that again there's 2 consecutive blocks filled in. We've already got 1 filled in, so there's our second. Oops. And then that row's done. Easy. Now when there's several different numbers in the same row or column, so here we've got 3 and 1. That means that there's 3 blocks filled in consecutively, then there's a gap, and then there's 1 filled in. The gap can be of any size, it just has to be a gap. So we'll start off with the 3, and they're always in this order. If there's 3 and then 1, it can never go like 1 and then 3, it has to be in that order. So there's a 3. We've already got a 2 here, so we have to make that a 3. Then we put a gap. The gap can be, again, the gap can be of any size, it just has to exist. And then we've got a 1, so this is the last possibility here, so must be filled in. And then that's that one done. Let's mark these off so we know that these rows and columns are finished. Yeah. Some newer Picross games do that automatically, let you know that when things are filled in. Alright, then we look at this row here, we've got a 2 here, again, 2 consecutive. That has an X in it, so we know that can't be filled in. So we know that must be where the other block is. That's filled in. The thing about Picross puzzles is you should never, ever, ever have to guess. Ever. Every puzzle can be solved with pure logic. Just thinking about it. Even if you can't see a move, sometimes you just stare at it for a while and then you realise how it works. So this column, 1 and then 3. So we got a 1 there. So we have a gap, that's our gap. And then there must be 3 to finish off the column. Now we've already got a 2 down here in this row, so we can mark that off. Mark those off. Put X's there, because we know those can't be filled in. We've already got our 2 here. And then there's just a 2 here. We fill that in. And victory. It always makes a picture. These are just making Japanese characters. But usually it's an actual little picture of something. So those are the absolute basics. It can get more complicated. Let's look at a harder one. Maybe this one? Aha, this is a 10 by 10 grid. Yeah, so the grids can get a lot bigger. Get 15 by 15, 20 by 20. Again, no, I don't want a hint, thank you. Alright, this should be a good one to show. Yeah, so as grids get bigger, they look really intimidating at first, but don't worry, they're not so bad. They're not so bad. So again, it's a 10 by 10 grid. This column here, see, it has a 0. That means there's nothing filled in that column, so we can X all of that. And thank you, we're done with you. Okay. So now we can look at this row. It's good to go for the big numbers first, because that can help you figure things out. So there's 8 filled in this row. But we don't have 8 spaces here, we have 9 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we don't know exactly where this 8 is. But remember, they have to be consecutive. So let's say the 8 started here, right? What would happen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 8 would end around here. But what if the 8 started over here? It would be 1, 2, 3, and you see this is overlapping with our other possibility. So this has to be filled in. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, see, all those have to be filled in because there's no other way for the 8 to fit. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 filled in here. And the 8th block is either here or here. We don't know, so we can just leave it for now. That's okay. We can figure that out later. And now we can use this to figure out other columns. So look at this one. This one's a nice big one. 5 and then 3. So again, it has to be in that order. It has to go 5 first. We've already got 1 filled in, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then there has to be a gap, so we put a little X. Then we have 3. Okay, so the 3, we have 4 spaces here. Again, the 3 can be, the 3 could start here, in which case it would go 1, 2, 3. Or it could start here, 1, 2, 3. Either way, these 2 blocks have to be filled in, right? Because there's no other way for the 3 to fit. Because they have to be consecutive. You can't have 1, 2, gap 3. You can't do that, because it says 3, not 2, gap 1. So these 2 have to be filled in. And there you go. We can't do a whole lot more with that yet. Oh, we can. We can. Yes, this is where it starts getting a little more advanced. But, no, I'll leave that for now. We'll keep doing the easy part. We've got 4 and 3 here. So this must be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. An X. And what has that done to this row? Look at this row. See, we've got a 3 here. We've got a block filled in, and we've got an X there. So the 3 can't be over here, because it can't fit. So now we know exactly where this 3 is. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Very good. And look at this row. You know, I should be marking these off. Let's mark that off. We'll mark off that 5 and that 4, because we've done those. Okay, yeah, look at this row. We've got 2 here. We've already got 2 filled in, though, because we already did that. So everything else must be blank. There you go. You don't have to fill in X's. All you have to do is fill in the actual black spaces. You don't even have to use X's. It's just highly recommended because it helps you figure out the puzzle. So yeah, definitely use X's. Okay. So let's look at this column. We've got 2 and then 5. We've got 1 filled in, so we've got 2. Then the 5 can be... The 5 must be down here somewhere, right? I've got a block filled in here already. This block, we don't know if that block's filled in. So we can't fill that in, because it might not even be filled in, so let's ignore that for now. So the 5, 1, 2, 3, the 5 has to continue down here in some fashion, right? Because we already got this space filled in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know for sure these are filled in. If the 5 began here, these would be filled in. If the 5 did not begin here, it must begin here. In which case it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we don't know if this is filled in. This can't be filled in because the 5 can't reach. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That can't be filled in. Put next. Yeah, so these 2, don't worry about those. We can sort them out later. We don't know which one's filled in. But the thing about this game is like sorting something out in one row or column will often allow you to sort something out in another row or column, and things will slowly complete themselves. Right, so let's look at this row. We've got a 3. We've got 2 blocks filled in already. But how far can this 3 reach? 3, 1, 2, 3. It can only reach out to here. So all these have to be X'd. And see, that allows us to complete this column. See, look at this column, 2 and 3. So we've got 2. And now the 3, well, we know exactly where that is now. So there you go, done. Now this row, 3, once again, 1, 2, 3. We know where that is. Let's X everything out. You can see we're starting to really kind of fill in this picture. Here's a nice little tip. See, there's 2 here. And see how we only have one little gap here? Well, the 2 can't fit in this gap, can it? Because it has to be a 2, so we can just X that off and forget about that. The 2 could be here, or it could be here, or down here somewhere. We don't know where, but we know it can't be in that gap, so X that off, and now that finishes our 3. So 1, 2, 3. And that finished our 5. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. X. Now we can mark these off, because you do that manually in this game. And now, see down here, 3 and then 3. Because it's just 2 3s, this one has to be a 3, so we have 1, 2, and a 3. X that off. Once again, this 2 in this column can't fit in this little gap, can it? X that off. We have 2 possibilities for that. It could be down here, or it could be up here, but we don't know yet, but it doesn't matter. We can sort that out later. Alright, there's a whole bunch of possibilities to go on with now. Let's go back to up this stuff up here. Yeah, so we have 2. Mark that off. That one's also a 2. And that one's also a 2. So mark those off. Yeah, so we've almost got these 8s figured out, but we don't know if it's here or here. So we can leave that for now. Okay, where to go on with now? There's actually quite a few places we could go. How about here? We've got a 3 we have to fill in. We've got a block here. 1, 2, 3. Easy. Got that 3 sorted. Now see this row? 3 and then 3. Well, we've got part of this 3, so 1, 2, 3. Done. Mark that off. Okay, now look at this column here. 2 and then 2. Once again, this gap. 2 can't fit into this gap, and the only possibility in this column is 2, so nothing can fit in here. Cross it off. And now, look, we only have enough space for 1, 2, and then 1, 2. And that's exactly what this column needs. So those have to be filled in. Because it needs 2 2s. And that lets us do the stuff down here. We've got a 2. Cross it off. Then we've got a 3. Cross that off. And over here we've got the other 3. Cross that off. And look, we can figure out this 2 now. So it's right here. Cross it off because that can't be a 2. We've got our 2 sorted. And that's completed our 8 as well. Our 8s are done. Okay, down here. Look at this. 2, 2. We have a 2 to sort out here. It's right there because we've already got a block filled in there. Cross it off. Alright. So 4. We've got our 3 to sort out here, but we just filled that in, see? 1, 2, 3. So that's an X. That's that sorted. Okay, this column, 5 and then 3, we got a 3 to sort out, but we've already got 2 filled in. 3. Easy. And then we finish off the puzzle, because over here we have a 5 to sort out here, but we've already got 4 blocks filled in. That spot has to be filled in, that can't be. There you go. That's that puzzle done. Oh. I think I'll do another one, just to make sure that you get the basics. I'll do this one. When puzzles start going up to bigger sizes, then you do have to think about it a fair bit more. We've got a really easy start here, look at this. We've got 10s here. Remember, this is a 10 by 10 grid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So those all have to be filled in, because 10 of them are filled in. There's only 10 spaces. Boom, filled in. Then this row, 1. Only 1 is filled in here. We've already got 1 filled in though. So that one's already done for us. We can mark all those off. Very easy. Then we have 10 filled in here. Again, that's the only way 10 can fit. Cross it off. Okay, now look at this 5 and then 3. This is stuff you'll start to recognise as you just do more of these puzzles. We've got an X marked here, so there's only 9 spaces this can go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now the thing about this is there's a 5 and there's a 3, that adds up to 8. But there's, remember there's at least one gap between them. And that's a 9, because the gap has to be at least 1 wide. And that actually fills in perfectly with this 9. So we can actually just fill in this whole column now. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's our gap. And then there's our 3. Yeah, so you can get those. Remember there was only 9 spaces. 5 plus 3, 8. And there's a gap, which is 9. So the gap has to be 1 space wide. Yeah, so that let us fill in the whole column. And we can do that with this one here too. Oops. Some of these Picross puzzles, they penalise you if you make a mistake, but some others have a rule set where they don't penalise you, they just let you make the mistake and keep going. In which case, you'll eventually reach a point where you can't figure out the puzzle, because suddenly it doesn't make sense anymore. So it's easy when you're playing one that penalises you when you're still learning, because the other ones just kind of let you just screw up, and you don't really realise how. Yeah, anyway, this row here, there's a 1. There's only 1 block here. It's already filled in. So, X's. Cross it off. And yeah, this column here, 1, once again, already done. And this one next to it, 2. Oh, that's already filled in. That's been X'd off, we can't do that, so that's the only place it can fit. There's our 2. And then we've got our start on our 9 down here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's that done. Yeah, you can see that there's so many different moves we can make here. This column here with the 2, yeah, that's already done. We've got our 2. Cross it off. Then we have a 1, 1, 3 next to it. Again, it has to be in that order. It has to go 1, 1, 3. Like the 1 could be here and then here, or it could be here and then here. But the 3, we've already got most of that sorted. We know where that is. That's there. And that leads us into this row. There's 7. 7 has to start here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's that done. So all of these 3s here are filled in. There's a 3 and there's a 3. That leaves us with 5. And yeah, and again, the 5s, they fit in perfectly here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lots of counting in this game. Alright, where to now? Well, these ones here, these are 5s. These are already sorted, aren't they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, we can put X's. Same with this one, because these are the same thing. Those are already done. Now, there's a couple of ways you can logic this out. So we have our 1, 1, and then 3. Well, the 3 is sorted. We need 2 1s on their own. But we've only got 2 spaces left. So we know those must be the 1s. The other way you can logic it out is we have a 7. We've already got 5 filled in. We need 2 more spaces to make that a 7. And there's only 2 possible spaces, so they must be filled in. And same here to complete the picture. There's more advanced techniques. Not sure if any of these puzzles will show those off though. Okay, when you can't squeeze things in properly. I'll jump to this puzzle, see if there's anything interesting I can show. Otherwise I'll finish this for today. No hint, please. Okay, anything interesting we can show here? I'll show this this 6 and 2. Yeah, so 6 and 2, that's 8. There has to be at least 1 space between them, that's 9. But we have 10 free spaces here, but we can fill in a lot of this using logic. Okay, so there's a couple ways that the 6 and 2 can fit in here. But let's puzzle this out. So let's say the 6 starts at this block, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It would end here. I'm going to put a block here just as a placeholder, just so we know where the 6 ends. Then there would be a space, and then there would be a 1 and 2. So I'll put a placeholder there, and you can see that over here, yeah, that's really close to the wall, isn't it? So let's pretend that the 2 starts here, instead of here. It would go 1, 2. See, that overlaps with the other possibility. That has to be filled in. Yeah, so let's pretend that the 2 is here, 1, 2. there's a space, and there's 1, 2, and you can see we're overlapping with the other 6 possibility now, because that's our placeholder for where the 6 ends if we started here. So 1, 2, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These have to be filled in because it overlaps. But there's no way you can position the 6 in which these aren't filled in. Yeah, so that's a really useful technique. And you can actually do it again over here with this 2 and 4. So it's going to start off with a 2. Let's pretend it's crammed up here near the top. 1, 2, base. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4 would end here. Look how close to the bottom this is though. If the 4 started way down here, 1, 2, 3, 4. See it overlaps at this square. So this square must stay filled in. And you're going to do a lot of that, and especially in bigger puzzles, you end up with just a lot of numbers that doesn't seem that you can do anything with. But then if you count them out, if you just go through and say like 1 dash 1, 2, 3, well, we can't do anything with that. But there's some puzzles where you will count it out that way, and you'll realise that, oh, the 3 ends like here, and that means that must be filled in because it can't go any further over here. Yes, so I hope that made sense. We're only doing small puzzles here, but yeah, the puzzles get big, and over time you kind of get used to what numbers you can very quickly fill in. With our 15 by 15 puzzles, you'd want to quickly fill in things like 10s and 9s and even 8s. You can fill in very quickly. Yes, so I hope that made sense. And if you're interested in Picross, there's a whole bunch of different places you can play this game. Yes, thanks Mario, I totally understood that. But yeah, Picross is in a whole bunch of places. It's known as Picross on Nintendo platforms. It's also called nonograms, gridlers, picture crosswords. Yeah, it's got a few different names. On Nintendo platforms, there's Mario's Picross on Game Boy. There's Picross 2 on Game Boy, which wasn't released outside Japan. Then there's this, which is Mario no Super Picross, which means Mario Super Picross. It's for Super Nintendo. It wasn't released outside of Japan, but I think it's on the Virtual Console. And then there's Picross DS for the DS, obviously. I think that's the one people say is the best. And geez, look at this puzzle. But yeah, that's the one people say is the best Picross game. And there's the Picross E series on the 3DS. Those are on the eshop. And then there's Pokemon Picross, which I've been playing the heck out of. And then there's a 3D one. There's Picross 3D. I haven't even gotten into that. Apparently, it's really good though. It's on iOS and Android. I don't know what name it's under. I know there's some versions of it on there. And on Steam, there's actually a Picross game that came out recently, which is called Painted Back or Painted Black or something. Yeah, I haven't checked that out yet. I'm happy there's finally a Picross game on Steam. Yeah, anyway. Go away, demo. Go away. Yeah, so that's Picross. I hope you enjoy it. It's one of my favourite puzzles. I love it. I've played Picross for so long now. Yes, so I hope that made sense, and I hope you're interested in Picross, because I love Picross. Anyway, see ya. Have a nice day.